What if the most advanced technology on Earth was left behind by a civilization we aren't supposed to know about? We keep finding massive, high-tech structures in the most desolate corners of the map, places where humans shouldn't even be able to survive. Today, we uncover 5 discoveries that shatter the official timeline of history. And when we reach the metallic pipes of China at the end, you'll see why the truth has been hidden for millennia. Our journey begins in the remote mountains of Laos, where thousands of massive stone jars sit scattered like a giant's game of marbles. Some weigh up to 30 tons, carved with a precision that suggests more than just primitive tools. Yet there are no nearby quarries to explain their presence. While legends speak of giants, the mathematical arrangement suggests a larger industrial purpose. But as we leave the jungle for the thin air of the Andes, the mystery moves from singular objects to an impossible geographic feat. High in the Bolivian Andes, the Earth itself has been etched with a blueprint that defies modern logic. The Sajama lines cover an area 15 times larger than Nazca, cutting through mountains and valleys with mathematical accuracy. Impossible without aerial guidance. There are no ancient roads here and no logical reason for their existence in such a brutal environment. It's a message written in the soil, a grid clearly meant to be seen from above. But as we look down from the mountains to the arid deserts of the Middle East, we find structures that hide in plain sight. Until you change your perspective. For decades, pilots flying over Jordan noticed strange V-shaped stone walls stretching for miles, virtually invisible from the ground. Known as desert kites, mainstream history calls them simple hunting traps. Yet the engineering required to align these walls over hundreds of miles suggests a much more sophisticated mastery of the terrain. They want us to believe these were built by primitive nomads, but the mechanical precision tells a story of a culture that viewed the Earth as a canvas for high-scale engineering. And this mastery of materials only grows more confusing when we move to the middle of the Pacific Ocean. On a remote coral reef in the Pacific sits Nan Madol, a city built entirely of 250 million tons of magnetic basalt. There are no volcanic quarries on the island, meaning these 50-ton pillars had to be transported across open ocean and stacked into a floating fortress with surgical precision. Even today, engineers struggle to explain how this was achieved without heavy machinery. Local lore says the builders flew the stones into place using sound, a claim that sounds like science fiction, until you realize the stones themselves are magnetized. But even this floating city is just a shadow compared to what was found. Fused into a remote mountain peak in China. This is the discovery they can't explain away. In a region of China completely uninhabited by humans, researchers found hundreds of metallic pipes fused directly into the rock of Mount Baigong. These are not natural formations. They are complex metallic alloys that lead deep into the mountain and out into the nearby salt lake. They are dated to a time before humans even mastered fire, yet they show the hallmarks of a sophisticated industrial plumbing system. These are the structures you saw at the beginning of this journey, physical proof that a high-tech civilization was operating on this planet, hundreds of thousands of years before we existed. It is the final piece of the puzzle that confirms the world we are told about is not the whole truth. Do these pipes prove an ancient industrial era, or are we looking at something not of this world? Tell me your theory in the comments. I'm replying to the most intriguing ones for the next hour. To keep uncovering the secrets of the world untold, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you at the next discovery.